Welcome back to our SketchUp Pro tutorial series. We are working on our one-bedroom house from the Harley Blueprint series, Plan Set 9. And in this episode, we're going to take a look at windows and how to custom make some windows. And so I'm going to start off over here in the very back of the house, and we're going to create two sets of windows. On all of these little windows, we're going to just create our basic windows. On these three, we're going to do kind of like an inner little ledge from the trim. So we'll start off with the same, and then on these three, we'll modify them. Because we have a lot of different sizes, we're going to use an outline for all of them. That's all going to be the same, and then we're going to use a follow me tool in order to quickly do the rest of them. So to start off with, over here, what we're going to do is I want to go from the outside wall over to the right, following the red axis, and we're going to go 0.5. Do the same thing for the other side. You can use your arrow keys in order to make it line up with the red axis if you're having problems like me. So 0.5. And then I want to do 0.5 from the inside part of our window. And then from that one, we're going to go back, hover over that exterior guide, and we're going to go 3.5. To make sure that all your guides are kind of on the same plane, you can kind of move your mouse around, orbit around, just to make sure that nothing went in a different position that you wanted. And we're going to take our rectangle tool and start connecting our dots. If you click in a wrong position, just hit escape on your keyboard with the upper right hand corner, and that will kind of undo or stop what you're doing. At this point, we have our overall shape, but we want to make sure that it's only one complete shape, don't have lines, so we need to erase those. However, if we erase the lines right now, it would also erase our walls. So what we need to do is, with our selection tool, we can actually just turn off our walls using the tags, or you can come down here to our walls, right click, and you can lock them also. Either one works. If you lock them, down here in our outline panel, you'll have a little lock symbol. It'll also turn all the wall outline from blue to red, signifying that it's locked. Nothing we can do now will do anything to it. So I can sit here and try to erase it. Nothing happens. I can right click on it, and both erase and hide is locked. I can't edit it, I can't explode it, I can't do anything like that. I can unlock it though from this if I right click on it, or I can, over here in our outliner panel, I can unlock it from there. But here I want to come through here and erase our three little lines. If you're not sure you did everything correctly, you can again hide the walls, and that's going to be our overall shape. At this point, you can do several different things. If there was a design that you're wanting, you can come in here and draw that in here. So we could come in here and take our arch tool and create a little arch if we wanted to come in here and create some little divots, if we wanted to create a shape like that. For us, we're going to just leave it as a pure rectangle for now, and we'll leave it there on that. So now I want to kind of go ahead and delete my guides. I want this to go all the way around, so I'm going to click on this shape, take my move tool, hover over the corner, hit my up arrow key in order to make sure that it goes straight up, and just move it up a few inches. We're then going to, so that is our shape that we're going to go around our window. The first thing I want to do first, though, is I actually want to take this shape, hit Control, and move it over to another place first, because we're going to use this same shape throughout all of our windows. So now that we have our shape, we need to draw lines that we're going to follow me. So you can either do two things. You can take your line tool and actually draw lines going all the way around, or you can, if it's a square and you're going all the way around, just take your rectangle tool, fill in the gap, and you can then delete that, the face, and we have our lines going around. But regardless of which one you do, the main thing you want is that you have 4 lines going around our window, because this is what this path is going to follow all the way around. Whenever you're going all the way around, you want to make sure that it's better to be off the corner, somewhere here in the center. There's no exact point that you need. It tends to work out a little bit better on creating all 4 corners if it's somewhere up here. You also it doesn't need to be all the way around. So for example, if this was a door and we were just wanting the trim to be on each side and the top, I wouldn't even need that line. And I would come through here and make sure that this shape is at the very bottom. So then it would follow from the bottom, go all the way around, and then stop. The only thing that the Follow Me tool can't do is it can't skip. So if I created this and I didn't want the top, this would not work, because it would come from here up to here and stop, because it couldn't go around. So those are limitations for the Follow Me. But other than that, we can do kind of anything we want to. You can make vases, you can create balls, you can do ducts and pipe work. I don't even need this shape to be on the line. For example, I can select, if I wanted this shape I can still make this shape follow along these lines by clicking on each one of these, make sure that it's on all of them, click on the Follow Me, click on this little path, and it will follow those as well. But it stays the distance that it originally was in. So that's how the Follow Me tool works. So I need to redraw in my lines, erase that, take my selection tool, hold down Shift, select all of the lines. I like to hold down Shift because it brings up the plus and the minus. So if I click on anything by mistake, the floor, for example, I can just click on it again and it will deselect it. If you hold down Control, it's just a plus. So if I click on something by mistake, I can't unselect it. So that's why holding down Shift is a little bit better. Once you have all of your lines selected, click on the Follow Me, and then click on the face of the shape that you want to follow. It will deselect, that's fine, it's going to do that. So click on that and that will make that shape go all the way around. At this point, we can triple click on it, right click, and make that a component. So these were 36 bedroom windows. Click Create. We can bring back our wall, and there's our window. I do want to take and select this little shape. I'm going to drag it out of the way. We can then come in here and we want to move this over here. One of the main problems with moving this currently is that it's going to be hard to move this over here. So what we can do is set up our guides. So this was 0.5. From here we went back 3.5, and then we did 0.5 going from here. Take your line tool and you can create a little line there. That's one way to do it. So if I then take my move tool, I can click on this little point, hit Control to move it, and now I have a place where I can move it to and it will align perfectly. That's one way to do it. Another way is if we come up here to your toolbar, you can click on the X-ray mode. If you don't have this, you can either right click the space up here in order to select tools, your toolbars, or you can go to View Toolbars and bring up this, and you want to bring up your styles in order to bring up this toolbar. This toolbar allows you to change your styles options. The X-ray mode allows you to see through all of your shapes and everything. So come over here to our window, click on this point right here, which is the wall. Hit Control, drag it straight over, and click on the same wall over here. Make sure you don't click on this corner because that's the inside corner of the window and it is not lining up with anything. But if we click on the actual wall, then that brings it over and lines everything up perfectly. Now you can just toggle off the window or the X-ray mode and it lines up perfectly. So that's going to create our basic little windows. On these, we need to create the actual glass and everything. So I'm going to right click, edit component, take my tape measure, and I'm going to find the center point of the window. I'm going to go 0.25 on one side, 0.25 on the other, and draw in the rectangle. Use the push-pull tool, and we're going to pull this all the way up to the top. So if I want this to be a glass panel kind of window, what we can then do is, again, take our tape measure and mark off what kind of panels we want. So If I want there to be, let's say 3, we can take our tape measure, we can draw in a line, select that little line. With the move tool, click on it, hit Control, drag it all the way up to the top, click on it, hit the /3, enter, and that's going to create our 2 lines, 3 counting this top one. We can do the same thing for the other side. So let's draw in a little line, click on that little line, click on the move tool, hit Control in order to make a copy of it, drag it over here to the right, and let's do /4 in order to create all of our starting lines. At this point, we can finish up by drawing in the lines themselves. We then come in here to the offset tool, and on each one of these squares I'm going to go 0.25. After creating one, we can just double click in order to do the rest of them. Most time that will work. Sometimes if you move after clicking on it, it will undo, kind of mess it up. So you will need to come in here and manually do the 0.25. Once we have all of them, take your eraser tool and we're going to erase all of these center lines. So that we have this look. Take your push-pull tool, click on the little center points, and we're going to drag this out 0.25. Click on it again, hit Control, move it all the way to the right. At that point, it's 3/4 of an inch. So we want to pull this all the way out and go 1, enter. We have a few little lines in here from that we need to erase just to clean everything up. Now you can click on the paint bucket tool, go down to where we have our glass and mirrors. For this, I want to just create a translucent glass gray and click on each side of our window frame or windows. You need to click on both of them because there are 2 sides. I need to right click on this and reverse face. We can click off of it in order to deselect it. And now we have our windows. Over here in our tags, we can click on a new tag, put windows, click on our window I accidentally deleted my anti-info. So if you need to a new panel, come to Window, Default Tray, Anti-info, and set it to Windows. Same thing for this one. So now we have our windows. We can turn those on and off. In our next video, we will quickly try and do the rest of our windows to finish those up. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos in this playlist and in this series.